Nevada has become the latest state to legalize medical marijuana, with its Republican governor signing the medical marijuana bill into law on Wednesday. Nevada, like Colorado and Washington, intends to tax pot, making the state a business partner in essence for those who sell it. Is there a business future for a drug that has made billions over the years illegally? Troy Dayton, CEO and co-founder of the ArcView Angel Network, a leading business venture in the legalized cannabis industry, thought I'd never say that, joins us by Skype. Troy, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So let me start with what I consider probably the first main obstacle here. No matter how many states legalize marijuana in one form or the other, it is illegal under federal law. And the government tomorrow, if it so desire, can shut it down pretty quickly. What gives you confidence that it either won't do that or that it will change the law?
Well, there's already a really vibrant medical cannabis industry out there right now. I mean, the estimates are that it's just under $2 billion. And, the last president was against it, too. And it still rose under that as well. And at least so far, Obama has said that he has bigger fish to fry and that states should be able to do it. Whether or not the Justice Department is going to allow that in the end is anyone's best guess. But the states of Washington and Colorado legalized cannabis for all adult use in November. And there's been silence from the Justice Department as these states have gone and regulated and started to tax and put forward new regulations. So most people in the business community are starting to look and say, hey, we can see where this is going. The poll numbers are going up. The investors, the entrepreneurs are all kind of coming in, and they're betting that this is going to be the next great American industry.
But boy, if I'm an investor, this should give me some pause here, though. What are you telling investors in your visibility, therefore, of what the federal government may do? And a legal question, can you raise money under federal law if you're raising money for what is theoretically an illegal activity?
Well, most investments that are happening right now, and the ones that we tend to focus on at ArcView, are the ones that are dealing with ancillary businesses, right? So back in the gold rush, they said that the people who made the most money were the people selling jeans and pickaxes to the gold miners.
Sure,
well,
that's where Levi's made its money, sure.
So tomorrow, for example, we're going to hear pitches from a company that makes an extraction machine that turns cannabis into a cannabis oil, and a security company that does security for retailers, point of sale companies, vaporizer companies, leaders in growing equipment, et cetera. So that's where a lot of the investment is happening right now. But this is. Troy, over 80% of the public supports medical cannabis, and over 50% of the public supports full legalization for adults. The days are numbered in marijuana prohibition.
So can you give me an idea of how much money you've raised for various companies?
We're fairly new, and we deal with small seed stage and early stage companies that are looking to raise anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. But our companies, just in the last few months, have raised over $1 million in funding to fund their projects.
Okay, so still a small amount of money out there.
Yeah,
and right
still
now
very small. We're humble beginnings, but huge opportunity.
And when point do you turn from those side businesses, if you will, in the pot industry to actually funding marijuana production?
Probably pretty soon. There's definitely people that are already doing it, and there's definitely because obviously all these dispensaries around the country have been funded in some way, but a lot of places are nonprofit, so you can only loan money. Some states
make them nonprofits, correct?
Say it again.
Some states make them nonprofit.
Exactly. And some states make them nonprofits.
I have heard there's as many medical marijuana dispensaries in California as there are Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a potentially big business here, but for this to work, it's got to move beyond medical marijuana, correct, to actual recreational marijuana, do you think?
I think that this is a great business either way, but I think that the winds are changing. It's more you look out and you say, look, the winds are changing. Many states over the next coming years are likely to pass full legalization for adults. And that's a huge, huge business opportunity. And most of the investors that we're working with, they're not just in this for money. They're in this because they recognize that business is a powerful platform for political change. And if you want something done in this world, you got to figure out how to make this industry responsible, respectable, and politically engaged.
Do you think that part of what's going on here is that the states need tax money, and now we've seen, I think, at least 3 states that are going to be collecting tax revenue from it? And is that part of the conversations you're having with the states? Because if you could kind of bring them aboard and say, look how much money you're going to make here, that might ease this transition a little bit?
Yeah, there's almost no stakeholder that doesn't benefit from taking marijuana out of the criminal market and putting it into a regulated and taxed legal market, including governments, including communities, including medical cannabis patients, and including people who want to use it for non-medical purposes.
And what do you tell people, though, that we do not need another substance out there that is a mind-altering substance, basically? We have enough of them. We have alcohol, and look at the problems that causes and the billions of dollars that negatively impacts the economy. How do you answer those concerns? Or, frankly, are those not concerns to you as an investor, basically? You're seeing an opportunity and you're trying to make money from it, which is fine.
Cannabis is much safer than alcohol or tobacco. And, there's never been a society in the world where the majority of people in that society weren't altering their consciousness in some way, shape, or form. And so if people are going to choose to alter their consciousness, wouldn't it be better that they use something that's less harmful than the current things that we're using?
All right, so Troy, give me from the business side, what type of market do you think there is? Because obviously no one has really been able to count up the marijuana market because it has been, it has been on the black market for probably now about 60 years or so. What size market is there out there, and who, may I ask, is the target market?
Well, so one of the companies that ArcView owns is a company called Xchange Research, and they put out a report called The State of the Legal Marijuana Markets.
Okay, I think we lost Troy there. He was on Skype. Troy Dayton, the CEO and co-founder of the ArcView Group Investor Network. They are the leading business venture in the legalized cannabis industry. Certainly a very interesting topic as more and more states possibly legalize marijuana. But of course, as we mentioned at the top, the federal issues are rather significant here because it is still illegal under federal law, and it does not look like that this Congress is any time going to change that. Looking ahead to Friday, several key economic indicators. The Producer Price Index comes out. That measures inflation at the wholesale level, also industrial production and consumer sentiment numbers. I'm Andrew Schmertz, and that is A Rising Stage.